Hello everyone, welcome aboard. Today we have brought you the current affairs of today's newspaper, and this is the first lecture of the continuous series which we are starting for the new batch. And today we will be discussing about the current affairs of for 24th September, which is today. Okay, so all of us know that how much important current affairs is when it comes to the preparation of civil services. For that, any one newspaper is enough if you are going through it on a continuous daily basis. Here we have opted for one of the most popular newspaper, which is popular across the students all over India, which is the Hindu. Okay, so let's get started with today's news items which are relevant to the current affairs. Before we start, I would just like you to know that in the upcoming sessions, I will also cover that how do we choose these topics? What is the criteria that how to choose whether which article is to be read or which is to be left out? Okay. So today first, just let's start with this one and let's go through. I'll be telling you the connection with the syllabus, and that's the whole criteria basically for deciding that which newspaper or news item has to be read. So the criteria for selecting a news item for current affairs is totally based on the syllabus. Okay. In the prelims syllabus, it doesn't say much. So basically, it's the mains syllabus, which is the deciding factor for all the current affairs items. Okay. So I'll show you what and where, how do we choose it. But as of now, today, let's just get started with this one. So first item today is the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, is in US and he's meeting the CEOs of Adobe, Qualcomm on the first day of US visit. So basically he's visiting United States. As far as syllabus is concerned, this is part of international relations. Okay. So as far as our syllabus is concerned, this is part of IR or international relations, as we know, which is a part of GS paper 2. Okay, GS paper 2 in the mains. In prelims, definitely there are items which keeps coming, okay, from this section. So that's the syllabus coverage, and that's why we have kept this in today's session. Now moving to the details. So Indian Prime Minister Modi will be meeting with the CEOs of Adobe, Blackstone, and Qualcomm. Okay, Blackstone is an investment firm. Adobe, all of you know, it's a software company. So these things are to invite more business to India. Okay. Then there will be a discussion on comprehensive global strategic partnership. So guys, please do remember this term. Okay. Comprehensive global strategic partnership. India is trying to develop this with the US, India are trying to develop a comprehensive global strategic partnership since 2013. Okay. India doesn't fit into the traditional partners of the United States, as we have our own interest and policies, but we are trying to both the countries are trying to become comprehensive global strategic partners. So UPSC loves to ask questions like, recently seen in news, comprehensive global strategic partnership is in relation with India, US, India, UK, India, Australia. So that's why you must remember this. Okay. Also, apart from this meeting, there will be a Quad summit. So Quad, all of us know, it's a quadrilateral group of India, Japan, Australia, and United States. Okay. So where these four countries, this is basically aligned with the peaceful Indo-Pacific region where the freedom of trade, it can be secured. So both the countries are also members of Quad. Do remember this. In the past, we have seen questions coming from this area in the prelims as well as in the mains. Now, India needs almost 100 billion US dollar. This is not USE, just to correct it. This is 100 billion US dollar, which India needs annually to reach the target of $5 trillion economy. So $5 trillion economy is our target to achieve by 2024. So this target has to be achieved by 2024 to make India 5 trillion economy. As of now, we are somewhere around 2 trillion economy. Okay. The investment to become this big, to become $5 trillion economy needed per year is 100 billion. As of now, we are getting somewhere around 72 to 74 or 75. So still we have scope for investment, and that's why this visit is very, very important. Also, we need to de-risk the supply chains. You see, Mr. Prime Minister is meeting with different companies plus US industrial lobby. Why? Because see, with the China, we have not have very good relationships. Okay, we have seen COVID pandemic. We have seen trade tariffs with the China, and as of now, our business heavily depends on China. So if relations are not good, how we can go along with the business? See, supply chain is something. Let's say if you are a bakery owner, you want to sell breads, then you have to have a supply of wheat from somewhere, right? So similarly, India, let's say you have mobile assembly units, the parts of it are coming from China. So that's the supply chain for India. That risk has to be reduced. And for that, how can we do that? We have to develop different alternatives. So in case there is bad relations with China, we can have the same supply from other options as well. Okay. So that was about India, US. Very, very important topic. There are many other things which you should note down. The next is the SC may form a panel to look into snooping charges, okay, which encroaches the right to privacy of the citizens, and also about the caste census of the backward classes is difficult as told by the central government. So let's take a look at these items one by one. First, about snooping charges. So see, there are Pegasus, which is a spyware firm of Israel. Do remember that Pegasus is a spyware firm of Israel, and it was alleged, means it was said by some people that some government agencies have used this software or spyware to monitor the activities of the people. Okay, now that's an infringement of right to privacy. See, the news article is more about the Supreme Court has said that they will form a committee if government doesn't come up with the explanation to check whether they have used it or not. But we are more concerned about the basics of it. That, see, Pegasus, what is it? It's a spyware. From where it is an Israeli agency. What it infringes, if we start listening to the people's conversation, we start looking into their homes, their lives, okay, then it is an infringement of right to privacy, which is a fundamental right. Okay, so as you will read in your polity classes, okay, that a fundamental right cannot be taken up or cannot be infringed or encroached by the state or the government itself. Fundamental right is something which is given by the Constitution of India to everybody, every citizen of India, and which cannot be taken away. And where this right to privacy was declared as a fundamental right, in the Puttaswamy versus Union of India case, right to privacy was considered as subsumed under Article 21. Article 21, you will read in your polity classes, it is right to life. Okay, and Supreme Court has observed that right to privacy is included or subsumed under right to life or Article 21. So questions can be framed various ways. You can be asked, what is a Pegasus? We can be asked whether right to privacy is a fundamental right or not. Yes, it is. In which case it was declared, Puttaswamy versus Union of India. Under which article it comes? So it comes under Article 21, which is right to life. Okay. Moving ahead, the next news item of today was about the caste census. So all of us know what is census. Census in India, it first started in 1871. Regular census in India started from 1881. Okay. Now, caste census is including the caste related data in the census. Census is counting of people, how many people are living in India. So you must be aware about the 2011 census. So every 10 years there is a census which happens. So why this item is in news? Because there is a debate going on as of now in country whether we should include the caste based data in the census. See, before independence till 1931, okay, Before independence, till 1931, Britishers used to conduct census. As I told you, 1881 was the year when first regular census started. And after that, they used to collect this caste-based data. See, their objective was to divide and rule. So they used to collect this caste-based information, okay, and then incentivize the different caste on different grounds so that there cannot be a unified national movement against the British government. Okay, but after 1951, consciously, okay, after 1951, consciously, we gave up this practice. We said that no, we do not want caste-based data for officially discouraging the caste. We want to create a casteless and classless society. So if you start counting the number of people, see, number of people apart from the communities which have been given reservations in the constitution. So about SC and ST, it is being included, but about the other backward classes, it is not being included. A socioeconomic caste census happened in 2011, but that data is also not very much usable till now. So that's why there was, a debate going on whether we will be doing caste census in 2021 or not. The government has told that we will not be including any caste related data apart from SC and ST. Do remember that. They are saying it is administratively difficult and now it is too late to be included. They have already created the questionnaires which people will be taking door to door in order to collect the information. Okay. So caste census is the caste related information, and the OBCs or backward classes will not be included in this one. Moving to the next, there's another grouping, okay, that has been created, and about a disease surveillance system of the future. So the new grouping here we are talking about is AUKUS. So A is for Australia, U is for UK, and US is for United States. So Australia, UK, and US are the members of it. India does not welcome it. Aukus is most like a security alliance. Many countries have opposed it, like China, Iran, and France. All of them are saying that this is a method by which UK and US are trying to give nuclear submarine to Australia. Okay. But as of now, there are no too many details which are mentioned about it. Okay. India also is a member of Quad, where apart from UK, Australia, and US are already a member. So again, it does not fit into our picture. So as of now, it's very early to say about anything, but all of you must remember this organization, which has been created this year. So definitely it's going to be important current affairs for the rest of the times. Next news article today was about the disease surveillance system. So see, we have already seen the epidemic of COVID-19, which has disrupted the social economic life of the country as well as the whole world. So what we can do in order to prevent such disruptions in future? Okay, so a well-functioning health system, which includes a disease surveillance system. See, disease surveillance system is where you can count and track the number of people who are getting infected by the disease. What it does is it makes it easy for us to understand which are the causes for a rapid increase in the number of infections. Okay. So this article basically, in order to explain this point that disease surveillance system is very better, it tells us a story about spread of cholera in UK or Britain and a story of a hand pump. So in the 19th century, around 1850s, okay, there was a cholera outbreak in UK. What happened? A doctor, he identified that in a particular area, most of the people who are taking water from the same hand pump, where there was only one hand pump available, there the most number of infections are there. So what he did was simply he removed the handle of the hand pump, because cholera is a waterborne disease, and the maximum contact probability when everybody is taking water from the same hand pump is you go ahead, everybody touches the hand of the hand pump. By just removing that hand, actually the number of cholera cases there drastically reduced. Okay, so this actually gave rise to a discipline called epidemiology. Do you remember that? Epidemiology is a discipline which studies how to prevent and control the infectious diseases. Epidemiology, epidemics like cholera. Okay, The national surveillance program in India, there was such surveillance system which was introduced in 1997, although it didn't work out very well. So in 2004, we came up with another program which is still running. So do remember that integrated disease surveillance program, which was launched in the year 2004. Now, what should we do? So we have existing disease surveillance system. It has helped us in many cases, but still a lot needs to be done in order to fight a threat like COVID-19 in future. See, disease and epidemics or outbreaks, they are unavoidable. You cannot avoid them. They are supposed to happen. They are bound to happen. The only thing we can do is to prepare ourselves so that we can reduce or minimize the losses. So first we need to increase the allocation towards the better surveillance system where we can know how many people are getting infected in which area. Okay, we need to have a trained and better human resource, medics, paramedics. We need to have a lab infrastructure in place where, quickly the samples can be tested, the results can be produced. In the COVID-19, we have seen testing, tracing, tracking. Then see, we have seen Nipah, Ebola, or Zika, even COVID-19 up to some extent. Sometimes it was it is said that it is a zoonotic disease. A zoonotic disease is the one which can be transferred from animal to the humans. So now we have to be very alert, or we have to be very careful. It's not just humans' health. We need to follow one health approach. One health approach stands for what? One health approach stands that we need to take care of the health of man and animal as well. Because see, the disease which can be transferred from animal to man, they are called zoonotic disease. We are already seeing these instances a lot. So we have to have a holistic approach combining these two. Okay. So UPSC can simply ask you what is a zoonotic disease, something which can be transferred from animal to man. It can also ask you what is a one health approach related to, it is related to man and animal. Okay, to take care of the both, the health of both of them. Also, we need to have vaccine preventable disease surveillance, all the disease which can be prevented by vaccine. So for example, in India, you have Mission Indradhanush, okay, for complete vaccination or immunization of children. We also need to clarify the cause of death, so that we can know that death and diseases are occurring because of which disease, and so that the actions can be taken. And last but not the least, we need to create a better coordinating mechanism. See, we have three levels of the government, as you will read in the polity, right? You have a central government in Delhi, you have a state government in the respective states, and then now we have urban local government, okay, in urban areas, and Panchayati Raj institutions in the rural areas. So these three together, they need to coordinate their activities for better results. So this is basically, apart from few points, this is more like a mains topic. Okay. Next item of today is about the climate change narrative that India can steer, or about the climate change. So it's a very, very important topic. No matter which year you are going to appear in the prelims or mains, definitely you are going to see a question about climate change. Okay, in your EVS classes, you'll be reading about the climate change. Okay, and this is basically climate is different than weather, right? So weather is your conditions of temperature and precipitation. It changes frequently. Today it is sunny, tomorrow it might rain. Climate is average weather patterns over past 35 years. So climate is something which which doesn't changes easily, or very fast. It will change in very long period of time. But because of our industrial activities and vehicular emissions, our climate is changing. Okay, the earth is getting heated up, which is known as global warming, and this phenomena is triggering many change. So that's the conceptual idea about the climate change. Now, this news item, why it is in news? The Ministry of Earth Sciences has released a report called Assessment of the Climate Change over Indian Region. Ministry of Earth Sciences has released this report, and it says that by end of this century, 2100, our temperature will increase by 4.4 degrees Celsius, the average temperature of this country. This is way too much. There will be many destructions, like more cyclones, more droughts, more floods, lot of health issues, occurrence of heat waves, loss of land due to coastal erosion. Okay, so that's why something needs to be done. So what we are doing, so the Paris climate deal, which occurred in 2015. Very, very important. Already it has been asked in the prelims. And again, there are chances it might come. There was a conference of parties, 21st meeting of conference of parties in 2015. Paris climate deal occurred in Paris. What was the deal? Deal was simply that we need to arrest, the whole world need to arrest increase in the global temperature within 1.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, that the world temperature should not increase more than this. So what were ours commitment? So India committed that we will also reduce 30 to 35% of our greenhouse gas emission. Also, we said that 40% of our electricity will come from renewable sources by which year? By 2030. These are known as nationally determined contributions, the pledged by India to reduce the greenhouse gas emission and to produce 40% of its electricity from renewable sources. That is called known as INDC, intentionally nationally determined contributions. Okay, very, very important topic. You'll be reading about it much detail in your EVS classes. Now, we have also launched same on the lines of what we are doing for climate change. So one, we are contributing to Paris climate deal. Two, we have created International Solar Alliance. The plan is to, in the same year, 2015, we created this along with France. Now many countries are part of it. It is headquartered in Gurgaon, and it aims to generate this much money, 1 trillion US dollar, and to make the solar technologies affordable and accessible to everybody. In order to achieve the Paris climate deal targets, we must have for 25 to 30 million hectare of forest cover. This is almost like 1/3 of what we have, which sorts of, looks very difficult as of now. Also, India is going to be the most populated country by 2027. So the basic argument of the article is, see, this is the problem. This is the assessment of the situation, that we are still going to, perform badly. And we have good targets, but in achieving those targets, as of now, it doesn't looks very feasible. And we are going to be the most populated country by 2027. So even our consumption patterns, what we are eating, what way of life we are using, how much greenhouse gas emission is happening there, all of that is going to decide how much we are going to contribute to the purpose of climate change, or to stop the disruptions of climate change in future. Okay, so again, very, very important article and topic, as well as for prelims as well as mains. Okay, then next article of today's newspaper, it talks about the smart departments. That is basically about e-governance, and one is about the pollution, which, as winter is coming, so in Delhi every year you hear the news about it. So making smart departments. So basically it says about e-governance or use of ICT in improving the governance. So for those of you who are new to this concept, see, governance is a broad concept than the government. Okay, so governance is how decisions are being taken and implemented in a society. So in your society, there is a government, central government, state government, then there are people's committee, there are NGOs, there is civil society. So governance is more like how the whole system is working. Okay, it's a broader concept than the government. So this article talks about how we can use the information, communication, and technology in improving this governance. So first, like we are talking about smart cities, okay, which will be sustainable. So these smart cities, in order to become sustainable as well as smart means they should pollute less, they should be economically efficient, they should be self-sustainable. We need good data, that where the loopholes can be plugged, where improvement can be brought. So we need good data for better decision making. For getting good data, we need smart systems which can generate useful data which can be utilized for decision making. So think, for example, how much water is getting wasted in a city which is not getting recycled. Okay, so that water can be recycled and it can meet the city's requirement. So basically we need digital technology, or the application of digital technology, how the technology can help us in making the cities or departments smart in 3 domains. One in the process, other one in human resource, and last in citizen centricity. Okay, so process as in that we need to create process which are faster and efficient. So like Government has opted for DBT, direct benefit transfer, rather than manually transferring money to the people. And human resource, like paying salaries through directly bank accounts. Earlier it was just cash payment system, so there were a lot of troubles in that. Leave or the entire human resource management system, now it has come on the digital menu, so it makes it better and faster. Plus citizen centricity, that all the services which are being given by any of the departments you have in the cities, like water department, electricity department, which you can avail. So like now we can just pay our bills by using Paytm, right? So that is citizen centricity. Earlier you had to go to the office of those departments, stand in the long queues, and then does that. So basically this article is about using ICT to improve our governance, and how we can do that by using technology in the three process. Make a better process, go for better human resource management, and better services to the citizens. Next article talks about the pollution. So in Delhi, as we know, around the time of Diwali and onset of the winter, we have this problem of pollution, which is basically conditioned or contributed by weather conditions. There are foggy conditions, so you have smog which gets created there. A lot of vehicular emissions, the pollution from thermal power plants, and stubble burning. Stubble is, you have the crop of kharif, and when you will harvest this crop, you will leave the paddy straw in the field, and farmers used to burn this, which will result into a lot of generation of particulate matters or pollutants. This all is responsible for the pollution before the winter. What are the few techniques which are being utilized for fighting this threat? Is conversion of this waste stubble to energy, incentivization of farmers so that they should not be burning this stubble in their farms. See, basically it's very economical for them, that's why they are doing it. So if we give them better incentive, they might stop doing that and they will start putting it to the center. We can also try, rather than burning, the chemical decomposition. Some other measures which are being taken by the government, it will be the use of straw mixed biomass in the coal plants. Already we are burning coal in the coal plants, so why not use the biomass mixed with the straw in the coal plants, which will give us energy as well. Repurposing the stubble as a fodder, which can be used as a food for our livestock. Also, this body has been created by an act of Parliament, Commission for Air Quality Improvement in NCR. It has also recommended that we must switch to the piped natural gas or PNG rather than using the products which causes pollution. Next article today, it's about Arjun Mk1 tanks, which has been ordered. So here, all you need to know about defense technology. Arjuna Mk1 Mark 1 MBT stands for main battle tank. It's an indigenous tank which has been developed by DRDO, and it will be used by Indian Army. So Arjuna Mk1 MBT is a main battle tank of India. The last article of today is about the CEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, between India and UAE, United Arab Emirates, okay, which is located in Middle East. The capital of UAE is Dubai. Okay, so here basically the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, it's a bilateral trade agreement between India and UAE, which is being discussed. There is a deadline that both the countries will finalize this by March 2022. This will promote better business, and also it will provide an opportunity to UAE to become part of India's $1 trillion export target. See, all these targets are basically aligned with the $5 trillion economy target. So after these news articles, let's take a look at some of the MCQs. So this will give you an idea that what type of MCQs can be asked on the basis of these. So recently seen in news, the Comprehensive Global Strategic Partnership is concerned with. I already told you this is very, very important and you must remember this. And options are India EU, India ASEAN, India US, or India UK. And here the correct answer is the Comprehensive Global Strategic Partnership is concerned with India and the United States. Okay, we saw an article today about Mr. Modi's visit to US. Next article today, right to privacy. Next question, was included in right to life in which of the below cases? Okay, Berubari versus Union of India. B. Keshwananda Bharati versus Union of India. C. LIC versus Union of India. D. Puttuswamy versus Union of India. All these are very, very important cases. You will be reading about these cases in your polity lectures. And here the correct answer is D. Puttuswamy versus Union of India. Next question today, Census 2021 will not include, pay attention guys, will not include the caste information about SC only, ST only, both SC and ST or backward classes. So actually it will include the information about SC and ST, and it will not include the information about backward classes as told by the central government. Next question of today is, which of these countries are not the member of Aukus, AUKUS? So US, UK, Australia, or India. So as we saw, US, UK, and Australia, all these are the countries which have formed the Aukus. You can see the abbreviation A, Australia, UK, and US, and India is not a part of it. Moving to the next, consider the following statements about COP26. Okay, so COP26, COP21, I told you in today's lecture that happened in Paris. Okay, in the same article it was mentioned, although we haven't touched upon it. The COP26 this year is supposed to held in Glasgow. Okay, and it's a regular meeting of the parties which happens under UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Okay, so both the statements are true, but our question here asks which of the statements are not correct. So as both of these are correct, so here answer will become D. Okay, none of them are not correct. This is how sometimes UPSC plays with the words. Just wanted to show you that. Last question of today, Arjuna Mk1A is, it's an intercontinental ballistic missile, not mission, or it's a nuclear submarine, or is it a main battle tank, or is it an attack helicopter? So here the correct answer is Arjuna Mk1 is a main battle tank. So that's all for today's lecture, guys. I hope all of you have liked the session. Please don't forget to mention your thoughts in the comment section. And tomorrow again, we'll be back with the next session of the current affairs. Thank you for watching, and thanks a lot.